Phenomenal way. Phenomenal way. Phenomenal way.
I am phenomenal. Every ounce of my blood, every breath in my lungs.
So this is how a made up mind look for me. When my mind wasn't made up, right? I had 3 children, no destination. I didn't know what my destiny was. I was in the streets running around. This is how the streets looked like. I would wake up every day, no focus, no plan. I would go outside, meet up with my friends that had no focus, no plan, and they didn't know what they were doing, and we would ask each other, so what are we doing today? Great job, guys, right? What are we doing today? Where are we going? What people do we have to see? So we didn't have nobody to see. So we were sitting outside on a step, going nowhere, wasting time, wasting energy, wasting talents. So that's what my life looked like without a made-up mind. I had a made-up mind, but my made-up mind was to go to the same spot where all my problems just festered, and I was frustrated, and I was depressed, and I was oppressed, and drugs filled my life. Drugs, pills filled my life. Alcohol filled my life. Just a life of dull, no excitement, no living. I didn't travel much. I didn't have friends that would tell me like, Joe, you're wasting your life away. Even the mothers that said they cared for me didn't tell me, Joe, you're wasting your life away. Everybody in my life at that time just allowed me to be where I was at, because they were where they were at. They didn't have no desire or ambition to get up and really chase after those dreams. So I had a made up mind. Listen, I had a made up mind to change my environment. And it started on Sundays. I went to church and I met some people, Bishop Lane, Pastor Walker, Elder Gould. I met Deacon Damien. I met these guys who had focus. They had a made-up mind to change, to transform whatever circumstances or situations they're in. It wasn't perfect. They weren't perfect. They were showing me their imperfection, but they were also showing me the thing called maturity and to have a made-up mind. And your mind is not always going to be made up in all your areas. You might just pick one area in your life that you want to communicate that you want to do better on. And so one area of my life that I wanted to do better on was what? My finances. My finances was lacking. So my money, I didn't have great money skills. My bank account said negative $100 probably most of the time. I borrowed more than I was making. I didn't have a career. So I communicated that I wanted a career. I wanted to be goal-oriented. I was already ambitious. I was already hungry, and I didn't know what I was hungry for. So I had a made-up mind. And then I had people around me that I told my dream with. So I had verbal agreement. Listen, I need you to see me how I see my future, how I see myself at this moment. See me like that and hold me at that every moment of my life. And they did it. And my life changed. It transformed. I started to have a better relationship with my children. I communicated this with my children. I communicated with my daughter. I communicated with my son over and over and over again, telling them dad is getting better. Dad is growing. Dad is this. Dad is that. Always telling them every step of the way. Listen, dad doesn't have the money right now that he can to provide all the greater things, but guess what? I'm doing what I can do right now. And that's what I did every day of my life. I enrolled everybody in the transformation that was my life. I enrolled them. I communicated it with them. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I still do it to this day. But I had a made up mind. I had a made up mind, and then I got the verbal agreement. I didn't even know how to plan. And then I started to implement planning. I started to implement 3 months of planning. What was my life going to look like 3 months from now? And so I enrolled in my GED program about 7 years ago. I enrolled in GED. I said, in 3 months, I'm going to have my GED. So when I got in there, people were in there for a year, 2 years. They said, you can't do it in 3 months. Even the instructor told me you need about 6 months. And I said, listen, if it's going to take me 6 months, that will be too long. So I said, I need this GED in 3 months. So guess what? I took the practice test in a month and a half. I passed the practice test. And he said, well, I think you might be ready. And in 3 months, I would not take no for an answer. Everybody agreed to it. After you got a made up mind and you get verbal agreement, all you need is your own verbal agreement, truthfully. But after you got a made up mind, you get verbal agreement and you execute and you plan it out and then you execute that plan, life moves out the way. And in 3 months I had my GED. And that's how my life started to change. And then I went to hair school. I quit my job, went to hair school. And it was irresponsible of me. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. But as long as you communicate into life, that made up mind, that image that you see of yourself in your mind, and you get life to agree with it, and you write out the plan, you act immediately. And that's how my life has been. I've been communicating to life, and life has been communicating back to me, because that's how I communicate over and over and over again.